The average senior in America has over 300,000 items packed into their home, collected over decades of memories, milestones, and moments. Experts say we gather between 2,000 and 5,000 things every year of our adult lives. No surprise. Then, that 78% of seniors feel crushed by the thought of decluttering. But here is the secret those $150 an hour professional organizers keep under wraps. They rely on 4 powerful psychological strategies to turn chaos into calm. These methods are so effective, they guard them to keep their bookings full. Today, I am spilling the beans on these game-changing techniques that can transform your space and your life. I learned them while helping Susan, a 74-year-old retiree, go from I can't part with anything to rediscovering her home in just a few weekends. Stick around, because secret number 3 is the one even the pros rarely whisper about. Welcome to Elderly Philosophy, where we guide you to a retirement filled with peace and purpose. I am Lisa, and I am here to lift the lid on the decluttering world. Secret 1, the memory anchor technique. This method is a game changer because it tackles the heart of why clutter is so hard to release, especially for seniors. Our possessions are not just things, they are emotional lifelines to memories, loved ones, and past identities. A scarf might evoke a cherished moment, or a tool set might carry the presence of someone gone. Organizers know this deep connection, but often focus on sorting and storing, sidestepping the emotions that keep us stuck. The memory anchor technique frees you by preserving what matters most without holding on to every item, creating space for both peace and remembrance. Take Clara, a 74-year-old I guided. Her home was a shrine to her late husband. With his fishing gear, clothes, and books filling every corner, she could not let go. Fearing she would lose him all over again, her garage, once a shared space, was now a painful reminder she avoided. When we applied the memory anchor technique, Clara found a way to honor her husband while reclaiming her home. In just a few weeks, she transformed her garage into a cozy reading nook, feeling closer to him than ever. Here is how the memory anchor technique works. First, for each group of meaningful items, like a loved one's belongings or childhood keepsakes, pinpoint the core emotion or story they hold. For Clara, her husband's fishing rods represented their quiet lake mornings together. Second, choose 1 or 2 special items that capture that emotion best. Clara kept his favorite rod, displaying it on a wall with a photo of them fishing. Third, for the rest, create new memory anchors through rituals, documentation, or transformation. Clara gathered her kids to share stories about their dad. Picking a few of his tools to keep, she photographed his other gear before donating it and had a blanket made from his old flannel shirts. A comforting keepsake that took little space but held big memories. This technique works because it shifts the focus from physical items to emotional essence. Clara realized she could hold on to her husband's love without keeping every rod or shirt. Organizers rarely share this because it resolves clutter so effectively, cutting the need for endless sessions. By creating new anchors, Clara accessed her memories more easily than when they were buried in chaos. Try it yourself. Choose a category of sentimental items, like a parent's keepsakes or old letters. Identify the emotion they carry. Pick 1 or 2 anchor items, and find creative ways to preserve the rest, like photos or a small memento. Share your story in the comments. What memory are you struggling to release? Or how did you preserve it? Your experience might light the way for someone else. Secret 2, the Heritage Clarity Method. This approach is eye-opening because it tackles a tough truth that many of us avoid. Did you know that 65% of adult children do not want their parents' cherished possessions? This fact stuns most seniors I meet. We hold on to family heirlooms, prized collections, and sentimental treasures, believing our kids or grandkids will one day value them. But organizers know this reality and often skirt it, suggesting you box things up for later, which just means more storage and more sessions. The Heritage Clarity Method empowers you to make intentional choices about your legacy, freeing you from assumptions and emotional weight. Consider Barbara, a 73-year-old widow I worked with. Her home was a vault of memories, filled with her late mother's porcelain dishes, her kids' old artwork, and stacks of photo albums. She kept them all. Certain her two sons would want these pieces of their family history, but the clutter was suffocating, and her attempts to organize with professionals had stalled, costing her thousands. When we introduced the Heritage Clarity Method, everything shifted. Barbara gained clarity and, in just a few weeks, released over half of her sentimental items, feeling lighter and more connected to her family. Here is how to apply the Heritage Clarity Method. First, sort your sentimental items into 3 groups. Things to enjoy now, like displaying a favorite vase. Things to digitize, like photos or letters you can scan. And things to pass down now, not after you are gone. Second, have brave, open conversations with your family. Ask them directly which items hold meaning for them. Barbara invited her sons over for coffee and asked about specific keepsakes. To her surprise, one son adored her mother's old recipe book, but had no interest in the dishes. The other wanted a few childhood drawings, but not the bulky albums. These talks guided her decisions, letting her keep what mattered and release the rest without guesswork. For items no one wanted to keep physically, Barbara got creative. She scanned letters and artwork, creating digital archives she shared via email. She photographed the porcelain dishes before donating them, preserving their story in a small album. This process was liberating. Instead of losing memories, Barbara felt she was sharing them more meaningfully. Organizers rarely push this method because it resolves emotional clutter so effectively, reducing the need for their services. Try this at home. Pick one sentimental category, like old photos or heirlooms, and sort them into the 3 groups. Then, have a gentle chat with your family about what they value. You might be surprised. Share your experience in the comments. What did your family want or not want to keep? Your story could help someone else find courage to start this journey. Secret 3, the tomorrow you approach. This method is a revelation because it redirects your focus from the weight of yesterday to the promise of tomorrow. As we step into our 60s, 70s, or beyond, we often cling to possessions that tie us to past chapters, like old hobbies or long-gone roles. These items carry sentimental value, but they can also trap us in a life that no longer suits who we are. Organizers understand this emotional pull, yet they often dodge it, nudging you toward bins and labels that keep clutter in place and their schedules booked. The tomorrow you approach changes the game by centering on the person you want to be in the years ahead. Meet Ellen, a 71-year-old I helped. Her home was overflowing with relics from her 45 years as a nurse, plus decades of family keepsakes. Her living room was a storage hub, and her spare bedroom was so packed she could barely peek inside. Ellen felt stuck, fearing that letting go would erase her identity. That is when we applied the tomorrow you approach, and it transformed her perspective. In just 3 weekends, Ellen cleared nearly half her home, carving out space for the vibrant life she craved. Here is how to use the tomorrow you approach. First, dream up your ideal future for the next 5 or 10 years. Write a clear picture of how you want to live, what you want to do, and how you want to feel. Ellen pictured hosting family game nights, practicing yoga, and volunteering at a local shelter. This vision became her compass. Second, when deciding about an item, skip questions like, does it spark joy or could I use it someday? Those keep you tethered to the past or frozen by hypotheticals. Instead, Ask, does this belong in the life I am creating? Does it help me become the person I want to be? For Ellen, this meant keeping her cozy armchair for game nights, but releasing boxes of old uniforms that no longer fit her goals. She turned her spare room into a yoga nook, a space that energized her for the future. Why do organizers keep this method quiet? It works so well. It reduces the need for their services. Many of Ellen's items did not need sorting, they needed to go. By focusing on her future, she saw that most belongings were echoes of a life she had outgrown. This approach lifted her guilt and empowered her to shape a home that matched her aspirations. Give it a try. Take a moment to write down your vision for your next chapter. Maybe you want a garden, travel, or enjoy a peaceful home. Then, tackle one spot, like a drawer or shelf, and judge each item by your future goals. Does it fit the life you are building? Drop your vision in the comments below. What is one thing you want your future to include? Your idea could spark someone else's journey. Secret 4, the gateway control system. This method is crucial because it stops clutter before it even enters your home. Studies show 78% of people who declutter find themselves buried again within 18 months. Organizers know this cycle well, and many rely on it for repeat clients. Offering maintenance plans instead of teaching true prevention, the gateway control system empowers you to become the guardian of your space, especially vital for seniors who face unique reasons for accumulating, like sentimental gifts or downsizing friends' cast-offs. This approach keeps your home clear for good. Meet Doris, a 72-year-old I worked with. Her home was tidy once, but new items kept creeping in. Undoing her efforts, she accepted furniture from friends, bought decor for a lifestyle she no longer lived, and stockpiled deals from her frugal past. Her living room was cluttered again, and she felt defeated. When we introduced the gateway control system, Doris transformed her habits. In months, her home stayed open and serene, reflecting the life she loved. Here is how to use the gateway control system. First, identify your personal clutter triggers. Are you buying to soothe emotions, accepting items out of guilt, or holding on to things for a past or future self? Doris realized she took friends' unwanted chairs to be kind and shop for big parties she no longer hosted. Second, craft specific gateway questions to challenge these triggers. Skip vague ones like, "Do I need this?" Instead, Doris asked, "Am I taking this to avoid saying no? Does this fit my life today? Not 5 years ago. If I let this in, what space or freedom am I giving up?" Third, use the 48-hour hold rule. For any non-essential item, wait, 48 hours. Before deciding, Doris set up a small entryway table as her thinking spot, placing potential items there to reflect. This pause stopped impulse buys and guilt-driven accepts. Why do organizers keep this quiet? It is so effective, it cuts their business. Doris not only kept her home clear, but also changed her mindset. Choosing items that truly matched her current life, she felt a mental lift, no longer weighed down by reactive choices. Her home became a haven, not a storage unit. Try it yourself. List your clutter triggers, like emotional shopping or family hand-me-downs. Write 3 tailored questions to ask before anything enters your home. Set up a spot for your 48-hour hold, like a shelf by the door. Test it for a week. Share your triggers in the comments. What makes you say yes to new items? And how will you guard your space? Your insight could inspire someone else to break the clutter cycle. The remarkable transformation of Ellen, a 73-year-old who turned her life around using the 4 decluttering secrets we have explored. Picture her home 6 months ago, a maze of narrow paths winding through piles of keepsakes, with rooms so full they felt like storage units. Ellen, a widow, was weighed down by decades of memories, from her late husband's tools to her children's old toys. Her dining room had not seen a meal in years, buried under boxes. And her spare room was a fortress of forgotten treasures. The clutter was not just physical, it drained her spirit, leaving her anxious and stuck. But after applying the Vision Forward strategy, Heritage Clarity Method, Memory Anchor Technique, and Gateway Control System, Ellen's world changed in ways she never imagined. Fast forward to today, and Ellen's home is a sanctuary of light and purpose. The dining room, once a cluttered catch-all, now hosts lively Sunday brunches with her grandchildren, filled with laughter and stories free from the shadow of surrounding chaos. Her spare room, previously inaccessible, has become a bright art studio where she paints landscapes with friends. Sunlight streams through windows once blocked by stacks. Ellen's home feels alive, a reflection of the vibrant life she always wanted. She moves through it with ease and confidence, no longer dodging tripping hazards or feeling crushed by upkeep. The clear pathways have slashed her fall risk, giving her a newfound sense of freedom at 73. Beyond the physical, Ellen's relationship with her belongings has shifted profoundly. "I used to think keeping everything preserved my past," she shared. "But now I see that choosing what stays honors my present and future." She no longer feels tethered to endless cleaning or the mental load of excess stuff. Instead, she has energy for what matters: painting, family time, and even planning a small trip, something she had not dared dream of before. The 4 Secrets gave her tools to align her space with her goals, not just tidy it up. Organizers she worked with before were stunned. One saying, "You did more in weeks than we managed in months." That is the power of tackling the why behind the clutter, not just the what. Ellen's story shows what is possible when you embrace these secrets. Her home now serves the life she loves, not the one she left behind. She feels lighter, more connected to her memories, and excited for what lies ahead. If Ellen can do this, so can you. Think about your own space. What one change would make it feel more like home? Share it in the comments. Your vision might spark someone else's journey. Ellen's transformation proves that these methods do not just clear clutter, they open doors to a richer, more purposeful chapter. No matter your age, Ellen's story shows the power of 4 secrets: Memory Anchor, Heritage Clarity, Vision Forward, and Gateway Control. They transformed her home and life, proving you can reclaim your space too. These methods shift how you view possessions, aligning them with today's dreams, not yesterday's. Try them and see the difference. If this inspired you, like and share with someone who needs it. Drop a comment. What is one step you will take to declutter? Your home should lift you up, not hold you back. Thanks for joining Elderly Philosophy. Until next time, live light and free.